And I remember looking out the window, and there was like this hot air balloon attraction over there. And I remember staring out the hotel room window, looking at that, thinking, "What a failure I was." I just was beating myself up the entire time, thinking, "How could I have done this to myself and my family for a second time, blowing up my account?" This is the How to Trade Stocks and Options podcast, brought to you by 10MinuteStockTrader.com, where we cover finance, stocks, options, entrepreneurship, education, and money. And here's your host, voted one of the top 100 people in finance, Christopher Uhl. Hey, can you do me a favor? I really want to help you with trading, and the easiest way for me to do that is by heading to secretinvestingbook.com to get my book, The Secret Investing Book, totally free. All you're doing is covering the shipping price, and we'll send you this book that exposes 13 virtually unknown secrets to take the guesswork out of trading. So grab your copy now at secretinvestingbook.com. Be sure to like, subscribe, and watch all of our past episodes. Good afternoon, traders. I hope you are having a fantastic start to your week. I do have a little bit of bummer news. Rob Smith, Rob in the Black. He is a fellow trader, just like you and me, passed away over the weekend. Really sad to hear. He and I had a little bit of a back and forth, a pleasant back and forth, a couple times. But sad to see that someone in our community passed away, especially somebody who, he touched a lot of people's lives in the way that he trades and shared with them. So I don't know a whole lot about it other than it was pretty sudden. And, it's just sad to see somebody in our community passing on, but such is life. I had one of those moments. So my mother-in-law is in terrible shape. Not like, she can't go run a marathon, but she isn't she's very ill. And my father-in-law passed away about 8 years ago. And, it's just that feeling, of time just keeps on ticking. Even without you. It's just kind of a weird thought, right? But I don't know. Downer to the day, but here we go. Sebastian, good to see you. Victor, good afternoon to you, my friend. As you see scrolling across the bottom, because I don't want you to forget, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday will be Discord-only days. Wednesday, I am traveling to Atlanta to do on-site consulting with a credit union there. And then Thursday and Friday, I'm going to take a little bit of time off, but we'll still be able to chat on the Discord. So with that being said, let's jump right into our market analysis. Okay, welcome to the 10-Minute Trading Room. This is how to trade only 10 minutes a day and exactly how to take the guesswork out of trading. Now, with our outlier trading strategy, it always starts with the market. And we're going to let the market tell us which direction to trade. We're going to trade with the trend of the market and also the trend with the market breadth. So if we're bullish like we are right now, we want to see the 10 over the 20 with price over the 50. And then same on the MMFI. This is something new we've been doing, but I really, really like it. So the MMFI is the black line. The green, red, and blue are the 10, 20, and 50 respectively. And the reason that I wanted to change this up versus just the 50 is we actually could have got started trading a month earlier at this point here, early May versus early June, as to when the crossovers happened versus the 50 happened. And this is at the time where we were making some tremendous gains. So when I was doing my back testing, my analysis, my research, I was like, wow, okay, we can still utilize this, and we could have got in earlier had we used these trend lines exactly like we do on price. So MMFI, market breadth, is still very bullish. Next, the price of the SPY just keeps on going up. Look, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how long it's going to last, but I do know I'm going to trade with the trend of the market and certainly not ever go against it. Because as they say, the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. As you can see, this is a hellaciously strong trend right now. You want to be trading with that trend. So we're only going to be trading long. So market trend's telling us to only be trading long. But to save you a little bit of time, I've already gone through the list of outlier setups for the day. And there weren't any new ones that fit our trading plan. Actually, I take it back. There were two. I sent that in the email or on the Discord this morning. STZ and TMO. If you're interested in those, both of those set up for today. But the options on either one of those were over $10 a contract, and that's kind of my limit. So STZ and TMO are set up earlier on in the day. Do your due diligence with that. But I'm not going to trade them because the options are too expensive to trade. However, we're in Morgan Stanley. The only thing we're going to be doing today on a defensive day, we're not adding new positions. It's just making sure if it hits our exit criteria that we get out. And we're looking at the 10 EMA to be broken or a half ATR from entry. That's it, keeping it simple. Our short exit will be a certain shade of green in Outlier. So let's take a moment to go look at that. So this is Morgan Stanley here. You can see our buy signal that we hit the other day. Swap it to the heat map view, which is my personal favorite view. And this is going from the pink into the green, which is what we want to see. We want to see it get darker green before we are ready to exit. So this does not hit the short exit point yet. So we're only looking on the 10 or the half ATR as our backstops. Now let me add our drawings back onto here. So we entered at 93.83. The half ATR is 92.83, so it's a $2 ATR. And the 10 EMA is still down at 90.63. With this big move up, the 10 EMA is taking its time catching up. So we're going to be running the half ATR until the 10 catches up or until we get an exit signal out of here. It's simple. But in the meantime, I did look this morning when it was hitting up here around 95.37, I think was the high. 95.40 was the actual high. I was looking and we could actually roll this out for a solid credit. I mean, we could have rolled it up $2.13 worth of credit on a 250 wide spread, which is really, really good. And if you can get it greater than what the spread is, which is possible, if you can get it from 95, wait, maybe you can't get it. Maybe it maxes out at 250 is what it is. Yeah, it maxes out at 250. Anyway, we were nearly all of that at $2.13, moving from the 90 to the 92.5. But that is not the case right now. So I would wait another day or two. And this is still something we can do over Discord. So I'm not too stressed about that. So this is not got any issues. The half ATR is about $2 away at this point. So we're a full ATR value away. And the 10 is way down here, so we're not using it. So we don't have any exit points in Morgan Stanley. The money is made in the waiting. And that's the hardest part for traders, right? The money is made in the waiting, and that can definitely be the hardest part. So no new setups today. Morgan Stanley looks fine. Doesn't have an exit point from a profit target, nor a trailing stop. So let's move into our final thoughts. Final thoughts of the day. One of my favorite accounts to follow. Trading is hard. Now, we talked about this. Trading is a lot easier than digging ditches. Trading's a lot easier than dealing with HR, right, Victor? Trading's a lot easier than a lot of jobs. But trading on its own is difficult. There's a lot of lessons that you learned only through experience. So what does that mean, right? One lesson that I learned was the first time I blew up my account. I'll share with you both times I blew up my account. The first time I blew up my account, you know these stories. I was long gold. No. First time was not gold. That was the second time. The first time was the election between Hillary and Trump. That was the time, 2016, when I blew up my account. I learned position sizing on that one because I remember the setup that I had on was a call ratio back spread, and I would have made a little bit of money had it gone down, and I would have made a ton of money if it went up. And so I put everything into it. I'm like, it has to go somewhere on this election, right? I'll never forget the night of the election, the market was lock limit down. I'd never seen that before. By the next morning, it was up, and it didn't stop going up for the next 4 years, is what it felt like. The problem with that trade, which could have been a huge gangbuster for me, was that I had it to expire that Friday. Election was Tuesday night, expire on Friday. And it didn't move enough for me to be profitable whatsoever. And I mean, by that point in time, I had lost 2/3 of my account over the span of a week. And I was just devastated. I'm like, I cannot believe I just gave it all up like that. One trade, just boom, hit me like a ton of bricks. So that's how I learned about position sizing. Second time I blew up my account was trading gold. And I was following this stupid, like, no-name account on Twitter. But they had some pretty good calls, so I was following them. And the account was saying that gold was at generational lows. Just, it's going to go up from here. Buy everything now. And gold during that time was, like, on a steep decline. steep downtrend, clear, obvious downtrend. And I was like, okay, whatever you say. So I bought every option I possibly could. And day after day after day, watching my account just evaporate, like right before my eyes, like, oh, I can't look. Oh, I can't look. Oh, I can't look. And I remember going to Disney World, and, that's one of my rules, is if you're going on vacation, you want to close your trades, or at least have them on in a way where it's defensive like we're doing today, where there's nothing to actually go out and do. But anyway, back to the story. We were at Disney World. I remember looking out the window, and there was like this hot air balloon attraction over there. And I remember staring out the hotel room window, looking at that, thinking, what a failure I was. I just was beating myself up the entire time, thinking, how could I have done this to myself and my family for a second time, blowing up my account? And all I had to do was trade with the trend, because it was right there, and it was obvious. But at that point, I hadn't really taken trading seriously. And that was my rock bottom point, where I decided, you know what? Clearly what I'm doing is not working. I need to reach out to people who do know what they're talking about. And since then, I've worked with 5 market wizards, an incredible group of mentors that I've had. And, one of my goals in life is to have a hedge fund and run a hedge fund. So very soon, I'm going to be making new mentors with hedge funds. And, bringing some of that experience to us as well. So there's a lot of lessons with trading that you only get through experience, right? And I share those stories to let you know that most people, 90% of traders, blow up 90% of their account in the first 90 days of trading. And that's why they say it's impossible to succeed in 3 to 6 months. You can get lucky. There's no doubt about that. You can buy Tesla calls and it goes to the moon tomorrow. You can buy AMC calls and then it doubles overnight. But that doesn't mean you know what you're doing. You may get lucky a few times, but then you're most likely going to give it all back. So, remember those lessons. Because the losing trades are the ones that teach you the most. And, in all reality, they're the ones that you need the most. So thank you all so much for coming to today's 10-minute trading room. As it said down below, we will be closed, but we will be on the Discord the next few days. And of course, if you ever need to reach out, let me know. Shoot me a message on the Discord. Otherwise, have a fantastic afternoon, and we will talk soon. Hey, don't forget to grab your free Secret Investing book over at secretinvestingbook.com while it's still available.